Hi everyone, long time no see. So Dota is rising up again after TI4 and the team sheets are starting to settle in as the tournaments begin. Currently we have the Starladder tournament running, which is almost completed, so sorry I missed most of it. I've got the GMPGL, which finished last night, the KDL, which is kind of C because we've got the Rave in it, the JDL, and I know a lot of you have been asking me when I'm going to start casting again, and the Sea Dragon Battle is going to be starting tonight, and I should be doing some of that. For today's 3 games, we've got Titan vs Rave, which is a best of 1, Myth vs Arrow, which is also a best of 1, and Invasion vs First Departure, which it says the best of 1, but I'm pretty sure it's a best of 3. The first game up is Titan vs Rave. Both of these teams knocked into the lower bracket by First Departure, with Titan losing out 0-2 last night and Rave losing out 1-2 a couple of nights ago. However, last night Titan beat Rave in a 3-0 for the finals of the GL Class S League 4. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch the games and there aren't any stats up on the website, so I'm not too sure what happened. But given that it was a 3-0, it seems like it should have been a convincing win for Titan. They were lacking Ohio and had a 2D stand-in, who's a well-known sub player from Singapore. He's played under a variety of strong teams, like JoeNet, and I think he played for MVP possibly as well. While Ohio is undoubtedly a stronger player, 2D did not drag Titan down, so I would say it was a convincing win with the stand-in. So it was a pretty fair match overall. With this in mind, I'd say Titan should have a firm advantage against Rave. However, I also do imagine the Ninja Booker who's been studying these games hard to figure out the weak point in Titan's playstyle to abuse it tonight. He is well known for his analytics after games to theory craft his way to victory. This is a knockout round of the tournament, so neither Titan nor Rave want to lose this best of 1. Titan should be a huge bet, but if you're a Pinoy fan, then I would give Rave some credit and maybe bet on them. The next match is Myth vs Arrow, and I would say both of these teams have been underperforming recently. After TA, Arrow dropped their captain Johnny to replace him with sub-player MTR. They have been steadily improving since doing this, but I still don't feel as stable as a roster yet. This is similar to when Arrow dropped Bad Slow Game, their previous captain who they replaced with Johnny. They had a period where they were very off form and had to have some role changes, such as Shanghai, previously playing support, moved to offlane, and Johnny moved from offlane to support. So I would say right now Arrow is sort of in the off form stage, and while they could have some really fantastic games, they could also have some huge throws. Myth, on the other hand, we haven't seen too much of recently. Within the Starladder, they beat Arrow 2-0 to stay in the upper bracket, but then they lost to Invasion. Nothing too surprising there. Despite not garnering an invite to the TI4 qualifiers, Invasion are one of the stronger teams in the Southeast Asian region right now. More time is needed to see how Myth will settle into the C scene after the post-TI shuffles. I would say this is sort of a 45 to 55% game, with Myth being the 55%, purely based upon their more stable roster and play recently. Given how even the odds are, bet whoever you prefer as a team. If the odds get all lopsided one way or the other, bet whoever has lower odds, because I think this is going to be a pretty even matchup. The last game is First Departure versus Invasion, and despite odds favouring First Departure 60 to 40 at the time of making this video, I would say this is going to be a pretty even series. First Departure have been showing their newly reformed team to be very strong, and to be one of the top contenders in the Southeast Asian region. The lineup is very similar to the original First Departure, which impressed in the TI3 qualifiers, Miracle Carry, Lubby and Kai supporting together, but they've lost Hana and Polason, being replaced by KS and Dafa, who have been playing with First Departure since Cypher's formed. Last night we saw them beat Titan 2-0 in a best of 3 to knock them into the lower bracket of the Starladder, but this was Titan lacking Ohio and Yamato for the first game, and still lacking Ohio for the second. While Winter is a good player, of course, losing the drafter of Yamato would have had a really big impact, and we definitely saw it. Game 1 was a complete stomp, taking less than 30 minutes for First Departure to win. Game 2 was a little bit more even, but Miracle's farm enabled him to carry the team to victory at around about the 15-minute mark. One thing I would put in Invasion's favour is that Invasion are known for very aggressive early game play. They kind of subscribe to the death ball style of play a lot of the time. When their full 5 lineup is around, they have no problem taking the Raxes and into the game before Miracle will be farmed up. And this gives the impression that if Invasion draft carefully and play carefully, they'll be able to force First Departure back, not giving them a chance to farm up to out-carry. Snow, if he will be playing recently, he's been kind of in and out, is one of the most early game aggressive carries I've ever seen. And if they run an aggressive tri-lane, which they previously used to do a lot, then I imagine Miracle's farm will be less than hoped for. Push heroes should be the name of the game for the Invasion, aiming to break the base pre-25 minutes, which is normally about when Miracle pulls ahead with his farm. However, at the moment, I'm not sure of Invasion's lineup, which means it could go either way. Given First Departure's tournament performance thus far, they're looking very strong and they could definitely beat Invasion now. But if Invasion draft right, they could also take this series 2-0. Given that recently Invasion haven't been going for super early game drafts, I would say bet First Departure. Invasion may pull a trick out, but I sort of doubt it. Either way, good luck, thanks for watching, and see you later.